When her daughter finally got home from school, her backpack looked like it was about to burst. She expected the worst, but when she opened it and saw what was inside, she realized her little girl had put the whole thing together all by herself. Tired after a long delivery, the young mom and nervous dad welcomed their baby girl into the world. Right away, they could tell something was wrong. Her legs just didn't look like other babies' legs. They glanced at the doctors and saw the worry in their eyes. In that moment, they knew their daughter had a long road ahead. Just a few days later, their tiny girl had her first surgery to help fix her legs. There would be more to come. Each operation left the new parents feeling drained and scared, but they stayed strong for their baby. They found a little comfort knowing she wasn't in any pain. They started looking for answers right away. After many doctor visits, they learned their daughter had Larsson syndrome, a rare condition that affects the bones. It only happens in about 1 in 1,000 people. Her hips were out of place, she had a club foot, and her knees bent the wrong way. Some issues were smaller, like a hammer toe, but others were much more serious. They needed to understand exactly how much it was affecting their newborn. The news was even harder than they had imagined. They named her Addie. The parents still remember the day the doctor sat them down and explained everything. Her legs weren't straight, and it would make walking difficult. The doctors even worried she might never walk at all. But the parents refused to give up. They were determined to do whatever it took to give Addie the best chance at a normal life. The only question was where to start. After 4 surgeries on her legs, the little family was finally able to leave the hospital and head home. Even though the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital worked hard to make families feel comfortable, with kind care for the kids and plenty of support, it still felt so good to finally walk out those doors and go home together. Addie was growing up beautifully, just like any other kid. She got around in her own way, and her parents were so thankful that even though her legs looked different, they never caused her any pain. To Addie, it was just normal. There was still a long road ahead for all of them, but they had no idea where it was really leading. By the time she was 7, Addie had already been through 65 surgeries on her legs. Her own bravery, her parents' endless support, and the wonderful care at the hospital had brought her to a point where she could walk and run just like any other healthy child. But there was still more waiting for this family just around the corner. Because Addie had spent so much of her early years at Texas Scottish Rite Hospital, going through surgeries, healing, or doing physical therapy, she was always excited to be outside, running around, going to school, and making friends. No one had any idea she was hiding something big. Addie was away from home a lot. Her parents thought she was just out playing in the summer sun with her school friends, like any kid should. They had no clue she wasn't playing at all. Her mom only started to worry when her daughter's backpack kept coming home bigger and bigger. One day she knew she had to look inside. After Addie was sound asleep that night, her mother quietly went to check the bulging backpack. She just needed to know what her little girl was carrying in and out of the house every day. But when she unzipped it, her heart nearly stopped. Piles and piles of cash came spilling out. Where in the world had her 7-year-old gotten thousands of dollars? Worried about what Addie might be mixed up in, she almost woke her up right then to ask. But she took a deep breath and decided to wait until morning when she was calmer. What Addie had been hiding would come out soon, and the reason behind it was going to be truly surprising. The next morning, her mom gently brought up the huge amount of money her daughter had somehow gotten. She was nervous about what she might hear, but she should have trusted her girl more, because when Addie started explaining everything, her mother's eyes filled with tears and her heart swelled with pride. Addie started explaining, not realizing how big her idea really was or how shocked her mom was. I just stand there holding a sign that says, "For my birthday wish, I want to raise $8,000 for Texas Scottish Rite Hospital." That was the moment her mother's heart filled with so much love for her sweet girl who had been through so much already. She would do anything to help make Addie's birthday wish come true. Before long, her mom was standing right there with Addie at a busy intersection in Houston, Texas. People started noticing this little girl who doctors once thought might never walk. Now she was standing on her own 2 feet in the Texas heat, trying to give something back to the hospital that had helped her so much. Her story got published, and it spread quickly. It went viral and was picked up by newspapers and TV stations. You could see it all over the internet. Her goal of $8,000 was not only reached, but passed. No one knew how far it would go. With her mom's help, in a very short time, Addie had raised almost $20,000, and it didn't look like it was slowing down. One day, an anonymous letter and check showed up at their door with $50,000 inside, all to help children just like Addie. But why did Addie take on such a big task for the hospital? As we know, she was born with this difficult condition, and her parents weren't ready for all the costs it would take for her to live a healthy life. Addie's family had been grateful for the hospital's help when they needed it most. Places like Texas Scottish Rite Hospital rely on donations like Addie's to give kids the care they need, even when their families can't afford it. "Wow, that's a lot of money," she said with a big smile. "I think all the kids are going to be so happy, and maybe they can get out of the hospital faster." The media helped a lot in making Addie's birthday wish come true. They spread her message far and wide, and the response from people everywhere was really amazing. This young girl had touched so many hearts by never focusing on the hard things in her own life. She added, "I might say, I got all this money for new casts and prosthetic legs." We can give a lot of credit to the wonderful way her parents raised her in her short life. Unlike so many others, she has big dreams, and this was something she really wanted to do. Her birthday wish definitely came true. Addie and her parents showed how important it is to stay positive and think about others. Because of her hard work and kind heart toward the hospital, so many children can now get the help they need, just like she once did. If Addie's story touched your heart the way it did mine, go ahead and share this with someone who needs a little encouragement today. Give it a like if it made you smile, and subscribe for more stories about real courage and kindness. You never know whose day you might brighten.